All right, what's good, man? New week, new day. Today's Monday, 26th of Jan, and we're coming into this trading week, and we're gonna have a good week. So, coming into today, what I see at the moment is we're in London's kind of displaced lower. This has been a theme I've noticed the last week, 2 weeks. London's been having quite big ranges, but then AM's been quite choppy. So, we'll hope that's not the case today, but what I see is the higher time frame is a bit mixed, right? We're in this where we closed above this new week opening gap from last week, but then we're kind of respecting this bullish daily gap, but we're also wicking to reject off of this 4 hour bearish gap. And as you can see by the 4 hour time frame, it's not looking super pretty. But with that said, at the moment I'm leaning slightly bearish. Now the reason I shouldn't say IFVG. The reason that is because, like I said, the London displaced. All right, so we've got London high up here, London low down here. But as you can see, what we've done is we've traded up into this hourly bearish gap, and we're now trading lower from it. And we have an SMT, right? ES here, same hourly gap, but ES took the high. Now we've got these two pretty obvious 15-minute gaps here. Obviously, it's only 8:45 at the moment, so we've still got a little bit of time before market opens. But what I'm hoping is obviously something like these gaps to get closed below, which looks like we've got strong momentum, should happen soon, and then trade up into like a 15-minute or something, get another SMT, market open, and then kind of, trade up into a 5-minute or even sweep the high and then just get an IFVG. Whatever, short, right, and end up taking London low. But then obviously, as you can see, the highs are relatively equal, but if we're going to be respecting this hourly gap and disrespecting this 15-minute, to me it's going to be pretty clear we want the low. And the low is kind of like, it's quite a big wick, right? So it's not necessarily a data wick, but usually them kind of abnormally big wicks like to be targeted. Or we could respect these 15-minute gaps, go higher, take this high, and then continue higher, or take the high, then come back down. There's a few things we could do right now, but that's why we're going to wait till we're absolutely sure. All right, so we'll come back at open and we'll see what's up. All right, we got like 15 minutes still till it opens, but just thought I'd come on to say, obviously everything's changed, right? We inversed that bearish hourly gap, so now we're looking for this London high, and then possibly this previous day high up here, or Friday's high. And that just goes to show why you don't predict and you react, right? Like I said, obviously wanted this 15-minute gap to get inverse and trade lower because we had the SMT and that, but I wasn't married to that, and obviously I wasn't going to take a trade anyway. But say I did want to take a short, there was never a short opportunity. Now we've shown that was just a retrace to inverse this hourly, and like I said, we probably want higher, right? I don't see any reason why we shouldn't go for this previous day high today. Like I said, we've come that close to the high. 5 points. We've got 40 minutes till the hourly candle closes. We've got 15 minutes till market open. I'm sure market open will take that. And then hopefully what we can do now is come up, take this high, tap this 15-minute gap, and then get our long setup and make some bread. All right, so that's just thought I'd come on and say that the bias has been now, not only has it changed, it's now confirmed. As I said before, there was a few things I think we could do. Now at the moment, to me, it looks like it's pretty obvious that there's only one thing we want to do. The other thing could possibly be take this London high, inverse this 15-minute gap, and then trade lower towards London low, but that doesn't seem as likely to me as coming for this previous day high. All right, still before market open, so not taking this trade, and the close is pretty bad, but we've got this 2-minute IFBG, and this should just deliver us to the London high, right? Like I said, before market open, I don't know why I was doing that. It's 5 minutes before market open, and it's a 0.5R trade, so we're not giving it a try, but that's just kind of like what I wanted to see, 15-minute gap, and then try to take the high. Obviously, we could still, obviously when market opens, trade, take the high, and then come back, sweep that low we put inside the 15, and then trade higher, which I'm actually thinking we will, and I'm actually hoping for. But obviously there is some sort of ST, so ES might be taking this previous day high, but it probably will be taking it before NQ if they both want it. So yeah, just thought I'd come and point out that this is a very nice trade. Kind of like nice trade idea, right? Clear draw on liquidity, 15-minute gap, strong momentum inverse, but obviously the time of day and the fact that we closed that high above is obviously taking the trade. There we are. So about to open. Obviously, like I said, that trade was pretty obvious it was going to work. You know, could have took it and just held for like a 2R, which is probably now going to hit. Just going to break even at the high, but like it's just not something that I would take, you know, on a like live account. So we'll just ignore that. So now we've opened. Like I said, we're above this high. For us to, obviously we've got highs like here. For us to continue higher, see, it would have been a break even anyway. I do want to see us tap this 15-minute gap, sweep the low, and then trade higher. Like I said, we could want to sweep London high and reverse, right? But the reason I feel like we don't want to do that is because ES is so close to the previous day high. I feel like if we are going to want to reverse, there should at least be an SMT there. Do you know what I mean? It makes a lot more sense for NQ to come and sweep this high, for ES to sweep the previous day high, have an SMT, then reverse, if that's what we want to do. But we might just want the previous day high. So there's the 15-minute gap tap. We'll see what this leg now does, but if this provides a decent entry on the 30-second or the 1 minute, I mean, look, we've got a nice 30-second gap there. So this could possibly be a long here. We will have to see. Okay, we got the clean 30-second inverse, so we are in here. So again, the recap for this trade is bullish bias due to inverse in the hourly gap and due to us looking for a previous day high. We're going to go for a 1-to-1 here. We're going to go break even at this high. Obviously, we have a quick Judas swing lower. Okay, we're actually going to go break even now, as is the SMT with previous day high. Don't want to see us stall here. So yeah, so there's the quick Judas lower, 15-minute gap, clean 30-second inverse with displacement. There we go. Got to stop the break even there. That's not a problem. Obviously, yeah, with ES taking that high, it's not something now I want to just hold and hope that we want to go higher, because like I say, although I do think we want this high, with ES being so much more bullish, this could be a point where we kind of chop and reverse. So that was a good trade in my opinion, really good trade, great break even. Whether it still works or not, I don't know, and I'm not bothered as it's outside of my model now. But yeah, we also obviously swept this internal high, so multiple reasons to go break even there. Just unlucky because really we didn't come back to where this candle closed, so I obviously just didn't get the greatest fill. Quite a few ticks, but it's whatever. Right, we'll now see if there's any other setups. Okay, so we've now traded higher. We haven't yet, but we're just about to sweep the high inside the 15-minute gap. Obviously still holding the SMT from up here, so here as well I'll be looking for a possible reversal. Right now, obviously we don't need to reverse. We might want to just follow ES in being bullish and come for this high, but if we are going to reverse, we'll probably do it from here. Now, this price action is very choppy, and I think the reason for that is because, like I said, we have the SMT, so obviously ES is just flying, but NQ is a bit hesitant, which also does make me feel like we could want to reverse, but obviously there's no clear fair value gaps in this leg. There's 30 seconds down here, but that's about it. So we'll wait it out a minute. We've just opened, well not open, but we've just printed this 5-minute candle that could possibly open a 5-minute gap. So we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, so we've now swept this high. We've got the SMT. We've got the 15-minute bearish gap. If we do get a good looking short setup, then I think it will work and we'll try it. But we might not. We might just keep trading higher and go for the previous day high, because we do have some low resistance. That's the thing. It's a bit in between, but it's also not. It's like depends what we do is going to make it clear to me. So we'll give it about 5 minutes and we'll see where we are. Okay, so we've traded higher. We've just opened this 5-minute gap, right? So what I'm doing here is we've got the SMT and we've got the obviously the sweep. No, it's come and swept these highs. Wow, we didn't even tap that 5-minute. We're flying. I was gonna say I either want to see an inverse of the 5 and I'll short, or I want to see us tap the 5 and get a long and I'll take it. But we literally didn't even tap it. Did we tap it on NQ? No, we didn't. We didn't even tap it, and we've just absolutely flew. So it does look like we want that previous day high now, which is fine. obviously, yeah, that does make it quite unfortunate about this 30-second long, but as you can see, it was clearly quite a nice trade. Yeah, so I guess we'll have a... Looks like we're just going to fly to this high. I don't think we'll get a retracement. If we do pull back to that 5-minute gap and get a long, I'll take it, but we've just gone absolutely mental. So we'll see. But, you know, it's only 10 minutes into market open, right? So we've got plenty of time for a setup. And nothing, like the bias hasn't been insanely clear yet, but I've been able to read it pretty well. Was just kind of being bullish, right? Like obviously I said we have the possibility to be short, but we never got anything that even remotely gave us a sign to short. So that's nothing there. Okay, very, very slow PA. We've just took the previous day high. I'd now want to see a reversal, and it does look good for a reversal because we've got this unfilled 15. But there's just no movement, right? Like, I don't think there's a bullish gap here. And if there is, like, that's already been inversed. There's just there's no higher time frame ones. There's just nothing where I could possibly get an entry. So, really, I think there's orange news at 10, yeah. Never mind, there's orange news at 8:30, not 10. So, I was going to say news at 10 might give us some volatility, but nope. Not even that. So it's only orange, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But like I said, I'd want to just see some displacement higher and then displacement lower. But if we stay like this, there's just going to be no trades, right? Just choppy, slow, trending up. ES is taking out loads of highs. It's taking out all of these, which were down there anyway. On NQ, so it's a bit of S&T there also. It's just, yeah. Like I said, we're just going to wait. I mean, this was the last fair value gap we made. We haven't made a fair value gap. We made one there, technically. We haven't made a fair value gap for like 15 minutes of price on the 1 minute. That just shows this is not ideal. So if we get displacement, I'll take a short. But if we don't, obviously short towards this 15-minute unfilled. But if we don't, then I just don't think I'll trade today, which is cool. Okay, as you can see, like I said, we've been extremely choppy. We came close to the 15 unfilled, but didn't actually tag it. Now, what I'm actually hoping to see here is an AMD, right? So A, then I want to see us manipulate above here and then maybe inverse that gap or another gap that we make and then trade there, because we've now got relative equal lows with an unfilled 15 gap. We've got our accumulation. We're now getting some displacement. So if we can, yeah, manipulate, take this high, get a short, that'll be an absolutely A+ setup towards this 15-minute unfilled. So let's see if we can get it. All right, so surprisingly, we've almost done exactly what I've said. We traded higher, took the high, made a nice, big, obvious gap to get inverse. Now all we've got to do is inverse it, take our position here. Should be around 2R if we get a decent close. Break even at this low here. And yeah, now let's see, obviously, 1, the inverse, and 2, the win. Let's see. If this doesn't work or play out, then I'll be done for the day, as it's not giving me much else. Okay, so we had a bit of a bigger manipulation than obviously I originally thought. I was looking to maybe get this gap inverse, but obviously we traded a bit higher than that. Didn't really tap anywhere significantly, but we don't need to. I mean, we took this kind of double close. But anyway, we've got the 5-minute gap now. It's obviously, this also to me looks like a 10 a.m. open, high, low, close. So if we can inverse this 5, this is a short I will take. It will look something like this. And because the manipulation's bigger, I think instead of just targeting the 15-minute unfilled, I'll just go a little bit lower and target the discount of this range. Actually, we might do it from this low here. Around 2R. Okay, we'll no, we won't do that actually. We'll go from this. We'll target this discount here. But obviously the reason I want to target lower is because it's obviously a bigger manipulation. So if you took like a standard deviation, I don't really use it, but if you did take it from here to here, it probably projects somewhere down here. And obviously we do have these lower draws, but about just over 1 hour is good for me. So yeah, we got 2 minutes to the close. Stop will be above this candle high, and let's see if we can get it. Okay, really annoying. We didn't close the gap by literally less than 3 points. Obviously with that displacement, right, even though we technically didn't close the gap, I still just want to short it, but it will be against my rules, so I'm not going to do it. I do feel like the next candle could close a lot lower and we won't get an entry, but today's been bad, so that's fine. Yeah, but like I said, I did feel the like not need, but I wanted to just short this because I mean, just look at that displacement. It's just everything what I wanted. Beautiful. And yes, we didn't technically close it, but I feel like that displacement just shows the shift in momentum that we're looking for. But I'm going to stick to the rules. We've got to wait another 4 minutes. If we get a close within like here to this wick, I will take it. But if it's lower than that, I won't take it. And obviously, if we do just respect it and go higher, then I won't take anything. And that'll be today done with one trade and it being a break even. All right, surprisingly, this candle actually closed bullishly, but we're respecting 50% of this big bearish candle. Now, this third candle that we've just opened, if this inverses still within that range of obviously the gap to this low, I'll take it. If this doesn't, then I'm out, right? If it inverses too low, I'm not going to bother. And if this candle doesn't inverse, I'm not going to bother, because if it takes, you know, more than 3 candles, especially when we've originally had displacement like that, if it takes more than 3 candles, 5-minute candles to inverse this gap, you know, it's 10:30. It's just not worth me to take. If this one closes with good momentum, I'll take it, absolutely. But this is kind of like the last chance in a way for me to have a trade today, or another trade. All right, well, doesn't look like we're going to do it. I'm just going to hop off there. That is obviously a good example of following the rules, right? Obviously, this is the setup exactly what I wanted, bar the fact we didn't close the gap. So I didn't FOMO into it. Although I felt like doing it, I didn't do it. I waited, and it clearly, because it didn't present the setup, wasn't a good trade, and it's not, doesn't look like it's going to work. It still work, but I'm just done, right? It's almost 20 to 11. It's just not worth it. So that's me done today. Like I said, we had the one long down here, obviously quite unfortunate looking at price action for the day, but we got stop break even. I think going break even was the right move, considering we swept the internal high and obviously had the higher time frame SMT. So like my final target of previous day high was taken on ES, so holding is just a bit risky, right? So that's today done. We'll come back tomorrow.